Every time someone pays you a compliment, whether it's a warm, "You've done an outstanding job on this after years of hard work," or a casual, "You always look so put together" at a family event, something subtle but powerful takes place beneath the surface. Most of us feel a quick lift, a small rush of warmth, and we smile or say thank you without a second thought. But after decades of receiving praise in professional settings, social circles, family dynamics, and everyday encounters, many of us begin to notice a pattern. Not all praise is admiration. Some of it is strategy, some of it is calculated, some of it is designed to move you, not to celebrate you. Today we're going to look closely at compliments through the lens of experience and psychology, uncovering why they can be one of the most effective tools for influence, why they land so effectively on people who've already proven their competence, and how to receive them in a way that preserves your power, rather than quietly handing it over. Let's explore this quietly dangerous side of praise. The human brain is wired to crave validation, and compliments trigger that circuitry with precision. When someone praises us, dopamine floods the reward centers, creating a brief but potent feeling of pleasure and safety. This isn't just feel-good chemistry, it's evolutionary. In our distant past, approval from the group meant survival, belonging, and protection. Today, that same ancient system lights up when we hear, "You're so wise," or "You've always been the steady one." The problem is that lowered defenses follow the dopamine. Our critical thinking softens. We become more open, more trusting, more willing to reciprocate. The complimenter knows this instinctively, even if they don't articulate it. They know that a well-timed, well-phrased praise can create a small window of vulnerability. Over the years, you've likely felt this shift without naming it. The conversation changes tone, the request comes sooner than expected, the dynamic tilts slightly in their favor. That's not coincidence. That's biology being used. The hidden purpose behind many compliments is rarely pure admiration. More often, praise serves one of three strategic ends: softening resistance, repositioning the giver as superior, or disarming potential opposition. A compliment can make you feel indebted before any favor is asked. It can frame the giver as generous and insightful, placing them subtly above you in the social hierarchy. It can lower your guard so that later challenges or requests meet less resistance. Think of the colleague who praises your work lavishly before suggesting a change that benefits them more, or the relative who tells you how capable you are right before leaning on you for help. The praise isn't about celebrating your accomplishment, it's about creating leverage. Experience teaches us that when praise arrives in contexts where something is about to be asked, or where a power imbalance already exists, it is rarely neutral. Compliments work best, meaning they land most effectively and create the most leverage, on competent, capable people. Why? Because those who have already proven their worth tend to have a healthier sense of self, but also a quiet desire to be seen and acknowledged. You've spent years building expertise, reliability, wisdom. When someone recognizes that, it feels good because it's deserved, yet that very strength makes you vulnerable. People who are insecure or uncertain are often more guarded. They question motives more readily. Competent individuals, having less to prove, are more likely to accept praise at face value and allow the emotional opening it creates. This is why manipulators target the strong, not the weak. The strong have more to offer, and their lowered defenses are worth more. There's a clear difference between genuine praise and praise used for control. Genuine praise is specific, spontaneous, and usually private or contextually appropriate. It comes without an immediate agenda. It feels balanced in the relationship. Strategic praise often arrives with poor timing, excessive sweetness, vagueness, or in public, where it creates social pressure. It may compare you favorably to others in a way that subtly elevates the giver. The power balance matters too. If the compliment comes from someone who already holds leverage over you, it's more likely strategic. Genuine praise lifts both parties. Strategic praise lifts the giver while quietly lowering the receiver into a position of subtle obligation. The power shift that occurs after a compliment is almost invisible, but it's real. When someone praises you, they position themselves as the judge of your worth. They become the one who gets to evaluate, to bestow approval. In that moment, the frame shifts. They are now above you, conferring value. You become the receiver, the one who is grateful, the one whose mood can be lifted or maintained by their words. This is why people who give frequent, unsolicited praise often hold quiet dominance in relationships. They control the emotional temperature. The more you accept and respond positively to their praise, the more they reinforce their position as the arbiter of your value. Over time, this dynamic becomes normalized. You've heard the common traps countless times. Backhanded praise. You're so articulate for someone your age. Public flattery. Effusive compliments in front of others that make it awkward to disagree later. Comparison-based compliments. You're so much better at this than most people here. Each of these plants a seed of doubt or obligation while appearing positive. The backhand undermines confidence. The public version creates social pressure to reciprocate. The comparison subtly reminds everyone of the hierarchy. These aren't innocent slips. They're tested techniques that have worked on people for generations. Fake praise often arrives wrapped in a smile because the smile provides emotional masking and plausible deniability. A warm expression makes the compliment feel sincere. It lowers suspicion. It gives the giver cover if you ever call them on it. I was just being nice. The smile is part of the performance, a social lubricant that makes manipulation feel like kindness. After years of observing human behavior, you've likely learned to pay more attention to the eyes than the mouth. A genuine smile reaches the eyes. A strategic one often doesn't. Compliments create obligation because of reciprocity, one of the strongest social instincts we have. When someone gives you something positive, attention, recognition, praise, the brain registers a debt. We feel pressure to give something back. This is why praise is so frequently followed by a request. The compliment primes you to say yes, to return the favor, to maintain harmony. People who understand influence use this deliberately. They praise first, then ask. The ask feels fairer because you've already been given something. The obligation is emotional, not logical, which is why it works so well even on rational, experienced people. This leads directly to the compliment to favor pipeline. Praise softens. Obligation arises, tie request follows tie, compliance feels natural. The pattern is so reliable that seasoned manipulators barely vary it. A manager compliments your dedication, then assigns the weekend project. A friend tells you how thoughtful you are, then asks for a significant loan. A relative praises your wisdom, then leans on you to mediate family drama. The praise is never random. It's the opening move in a sequence designed to secure compliance with minimal resistance. Calling out fake praise almost always backfires. The moment you react, whether with defensiveness, accusation, or sarcasm, you expose emotional investment. You show that the compliment affected you. The manipulator wins by default. They got under your skin. They can now play innocent, I was just being kind, while you appear touchy or ungrateful. Reacting hands them the emotional high ground. The high-status move is to treat questionable praise as neutral information. Note it, don't absorb it, don't reject it dramatically. Let it pass without feeding the dynamic. The most effective way to receive praise is with neutral acknowledgement. A simple, thank you, or I appreciate that. Delivered calmly, without elaboration, without blushing, without over-smiling. No deflection. Oh, it was nothing. No self-deprecation. No eager reciprocation. Neutrality keeps you centered. It neither rejects the praise, which would signal insecurity, nor absorbs it, which would signal neediness. It treats the compliment as data. Someone said something positive. That's all. Powerful people have mastered this. They let praise flow past them like water past stone. In certain contexts, praise should increase your alertness rather than your trust. When it comes from someone with something to gain, when it's unusually lavish or frequent, when it arrives just before a request or change in dynamic, when it feels disproportionate to the situation, when it's public and performative. These are warning signals. The brain's pleasure response is real, but your higher judgment can override it. Treat sudden or excessive praise the way a seasoned negotiator treats an overly generous opening offer, with polite curiosity, not immediate acceptance. Powerful people handle praise differently because they neither reject it nor let it define them. They acknowledge without attachment. They don't need the validation because their self-worth is internal. They don't reject it because that would signal defensiveness. They simply register it and continue. This detachment is what allows them to stay in control. The compliment doesn't move them emotionally, so it can't move them behaviorally. Here is the final rule worth remembering. Praise is information, not validation. When you treat every compliment as data, about the giver's intent, about the context, about the relationship, you preserve your center. You stay sovereign over your own worth. You never hand the keys to your self-respect to someone else's words. After all the years you've lived, all the praise you've earned, all the compliments you've graciously accepted, you now have the clarity to see them for what they are. Sometimes genuine appreciation, sometimes quiet strategy. Let the genuine ones warm you. Let the strategic ones pass through, and keep your power exactly where it belongs, with you.